I'm sure that at some point in this we've all asked ourselves, what would I look like after this quarantine? Will I be 5 pounds heavier, 15 pounds heavier, or like 600 pounds lighter? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea. If you don't know, now you definitely know. And in today's video, I'm going to be discussing the one thing that you need to do if you want to stay in shape while indoors. We're all indoors, and you know how it is when we are forced to be sedentary or live a sedentary lifestyle. Like you add weight like that, like that. I know there are some people who don't add weight easily and or who want to add weight, and this video is most definitely not for you, but please don't click off. Okay, you can share it with your aunties, your mother, your sisters, all those people who may add weight more easily than you do. So if you want to find out the one thing you can do to help you stay in shape during the period, then please stay tuned. We're already in the middle of this video. Now, before we get to the one thing that you need to do to keep in shape while indoors, I want to get one thing out of the way. One thing, like most important, and that thing is hydration. Hydration. You want to stay hydrated. Water. This is so important. No soda, no Fanta, no Coke, no Feroz. Anything that when you open it does. No. Cut it out. When we take a lot of water, it like takes up space in our stomach and it just helps us not to overeat as much. So when we are not taking soda, there are lots of other things that we can do or we can take apart from water. For those who don't really like water, because I know that there are some people who don't like the taste of water or whatever. First of all, there are things you can use to add flavor to water, but that's another discussion for maybe another channel. But healthy alternatives to water include things like tea, natural juice. Juice is different from natural juice in that there's like added sugar, but that's okay. It's much better than it is with soda. And there are some juices nowadays that use natural sweeteners in their juice, so you wouldn't be taking as substances that are as harmful as it would have otherwise been. So there's tea, there's fruit juice, there's the flavored water that I talked about, and those are just things that you can use to quench your thirst. As a backstory to the one thing you need to do if you want to keep in shape during this quarantine while indoors, as a backdrop to that, I just want you people to understand that the body functions in a certain way. It has been made to function in a certain way, and when we've been conditioned over time to kind of ignore our body's natural cues and just do what we think is best for ourselves or our schedules. An example of that is being conditioned to eat only 3 times a day, or being conditioned to eat when you're not hungry. The problem with eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner is that sometimes we are not just hungry. We are not hungry. That's it. And you should never eat when you're not hungry. And I'm going to explain why and how. So the body is made so that when the stomach needs food, or when our body needs food, we'll have hunger pangs. Right? That's the baseline for everything I'm going to say right now. But the problem with eating at a set time, morning, afternoon, and night, is that sometimes we don't feel those hunger pangs. We're just eating to fill out like a social obligation of eating morning, afternoon, and night, as opposed to when we are actually hungry. So the baseline of this one thing you need to do, it is very, very, very important, is to eat when and if you are hungry. I'm going to say that again, is to eat when and if you are hungry. For those who are wondering, the correct amount of food to eat is about the size of your fist. Like, your stomach is only about the size of your clenched fist, like this way. It's only about this size. So the idea is that but the stomach is elastic as well, so that when you eat more than that, it can stretch and accommodate that. Now the idea is that your stomach only processes, your body really only needs energy about this much. Okay, your body really only needs this much of energy. So anything that is excess will be converted into fat. So that is why it's so important that we control the portions that we eat. Portion control is so important. It is so key, and we need to figure, and that looks like different things for different people. People who are more muscular, more hefty, men in general will tend to eat a little bit more than women would eat. Women and children would. It's like the size of the face is a very good indicator of the correct amount of food that you're supposed to be. The thing is, when you eat the correct amount of food you're supposed to eat, you find out that you eat more frequently throughout the day. And that is best, because you're like training, the way you train a muscle, you're also training your metabolism to work more efficiently and to process food better. Your energy levels when you eat the amount of food you're supposed to eat are fairly constant and optimum for you to function throughout the day. But when you eat that big batch of food, you get a big rush of glucose and then it crashes severely, and it's not stable. Now, the second reason why you should be eating for your size is because of the excess. Remember, the point of this video is how to keep a stable weight when you're locked indoors. I'm going to assume that you can't also do some cardio, like you can't run. I live in a big compound and I can afford to run, but I know that some people don't live in those kind of compounds and can't run, can't exercise. So for those people, this method also works as well. It works with and without exercise. It works better with exercise, but it also works without exercise as well. That excess that we eat, like I'm supposed to eat this amount of food and I end up eating that amount of food. So of course my stomach will expand to accommodate that amount of food, but at the same time it's going to convert all the excess into fat, and that is what we are trying to eliminate. We don't want that. And that is that singular act of eating exactly your fist size or thereabout of food requires a lot of discipline at first, but within the next 3 to 4 weeks your body naturally adjusts. This becomes your natural limit of food as to when you feel full. A lot of people have tried it. I've been using this method for the past 5 years, so I know firsthand. And there are lots of people that have introduced this method and they told me the same thing. It's like your body just adjusts to having that as the new maximum. There's so many diets out there, but most of them require things like calorie counters. They require you to eat things like celery, brown rice. No offense, celery. I love celery sometimes, but I can't be eating grass. Like I can't be eating grass. So I need to have the normal foods I'm accustomed to, but at the same time I don't want to blow up and be like a balloon. The beauty of this method of eating is that anybody anywhere in the world can practice it. I mean, the Chinese people who eat rice a lot can practice it. Nigerians who eat rice a lot can practice it. Anywhere you are in the world, any prevalent food you eat, even if it's tacos, it's pizza, it doesn't matter what you eat as long as you eat it in the right way, and that is to eat it only when you're hungry and in the right amount. Another thing a bonus tip is to try to skip around the house or to accept your parents' errands. I know that we hate it whenever our parents are always sending us on errands, but not all that bad. It's not all that bad, trust me. And I get annoyed with it too. But it's a good way to get to exercise your body and move around the house and not just lie on your bed punching your phone all day. So to recap, the things you need to do in order to keep your weight in check while indoors is to hydrate, and not with soda. Use natural means of hydration like water, tea, and juice. And the second thing you need to do is to eat exactly when, not exactly, but is to eat when and if you feel hungry and in the correct amount. So we've come to the end of this video, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below if you're going to be using this method, and come back in a few months when this is all over and tell me whether this worked for you or not. And also comment down below if there's any video you think I should cover as regards to this topic or others on my channel. So it was so nice having you. Bye.